that I am, so I speak so bold.
Welcome to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio, 708-238-8953. Thank you for joining me for once again another show. I appreciate the support that you all continue to give the Denasha Harrison Show, to include Intellectual Radio, where everybody feeds their brain. Every show that's here is to feed your brain. And we want to thank you again for the support. Please share your comments, click like for the Denasha Harrison Show, to include any other show that's on this platform. So again, thank you. We are all one love, one family. Feed your brain here on the show. Today's show is brought to you by Ambassador O Ministries, to include In the Beginning Ministries out there in California. So we thank you for your continued support. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your transparency concerning the ministry that you do. It is an online ministry with In the Beginning Ministries, to include Ambassador O's Ministries. And for more information, feel free to call 224-800-9719 to find out how you can support Ambassador O Ministries, how you can support In the Beginning Ministries, and how you can support the Denasha Harrison Show and any other show on IntellectualRadio.com, where we feed our brain. So feed your brain. So we are very, very fortunate to have a couple of people in the studio, and I'm going to share some things with you, let them share some things with you about where they've come from, about their journey, and about where they're going. I'm very proud of the people that's sitting here in the studio. I really appreciate the time that you all have taken out of your day to come in and share, not only with myself, but with the people that tune in to intellectualradio.com. So again, we can't do it all in 1 hour, right? We can't tell how good God has been in your lives day after day, right? Hour after hour, minute after minute, second after second. We can't share all of it in 1 hour, but we want to give the people a little flavor of this family. So I'm going to introduce your wife first, Miss Kenosha. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank
All right, appreciate you coming out.
you. You're welcome.
And I'm going to encourage you to be comfortable when we talk about what you want to talk about, what you feel like talking about your journey.
Okay.
Not only your spiritual journey, but your health journey. We all believe that your health is your wealth, and we want to talk about how blessed you've been and how wealthy God has continued to allow you to be on your health journey. All
Okay.
right. And so now I'm going to introduce your husband, who's got about 15 different names, but I'm only going to talk about three. Right. So, Demetrius, welcome to the show, aka Charge It to the Game, aka Boss Man, Midwest Professional Empire Associates. Got a lot going on, and I really appreciate you coming out to the show. This is actually us experiencing a different a different view of what we do and how we do beyond how we met. Right. So, thank you for coming to the show and welcome. Thanks for taking the time out. This is radio, so you gotta speak and say something. Like,
Well, first, I would like to say I thank God for being here. Um, my name is Demetrius. I'm known as Boss Man all across the city of Chicago, known in New York City, um, Atlanta, Georgia, St. Louis, Missouri, um, also Florida. And I just thank God for being here. We are the Midwest Professional Empire um, and Associates LLC. We just changed the name from Midwest Professional Empire Family. We started out as a family before we became associates. And let me give you the breakdown. The Midwest is between the states, professional business like, and the empire is kings and queens of God serving God's people. So the family itself is not just about bringing the youth together. It's also about bringing the senior citizens together, because a lot of senior citizens don't have a place to call home. So again, we a unit that's all about bringing unity together and loyalty together. So that explains partial of the Midwest, and we just bring the lightness of what's going on in the city right now, the love that we share with each other, to be able to help each other first before we help someone else. So that's what the team itself does within the empire.
Okay, well, thank you for that explanation. So, how long have you been? Well, first, before I ask this question, you mentioned where you're known at. So, when you talk about Midwest Professional Empire Associates, do you have chapters in all those places that you're known in, or are you known for something else in those areas that you mentioned? What's that all about?
Well, I'm going to say this, that on behalf of the social change organization, Midwest has a partnership with social change organization, whereas we actually volunteer for social change, and we build that unity into the community with social change, to be able to give away fresh groceries and greens and macaroni and cheese, and we bring like truckloads from Tyson Foods, from different other companies that wants to donate food, to fresh greens and food to the community. So we have 15 hubs throughout different states and cities, along with social change organization. Myself and my wife is actually one of the social changers that is about all about change in the community, along with our executive director and co-founder Todd Belcourt.
So, what gave you the idea to say, you know what, I want to go above and beyond? I want to go beyond paying attention to senior citizens only, or I want to go beyond paying attention to the youth. What gave you the idea to go from one end to the other, and how long have you been doing this?
Well, we've been doing this since 2011. Um, 2011, I would say. My wife says 2012. I'm gonna tell you the difference. November 14, 2011, me and my wife got married. So, in my eyes and my heart, I believe that's where we started in the marriage. Then we moved over in 2012 and got format with Midwest family, and then we just moved forward from there.
So you mentioned some of the partnerships. Tyson's Foods, that's one of them. Are you in partnerships with the um, like the different shelters and uh, like soup kitchens? What's your structure? So you mentioned a supplier. Uh, do you have, and you mentioned a hub, the
Mhm.
different hubs across the different places that you talked about. How many hubs are specific to Chicago proper, and the Chicagoland area, and how does that work with you partnering with um, organizations to feed people from senior citizens to the youth? Uh, Locations? Are you just pulling up in a parking lot? Are you marrying up with existing infrastructures? What does that look like for you?
Well, actually, we go block by block. So
So you're mobile.
where we mobile, we're a mobile food pantry for those who need food and those who don't need food. We still serve you. It's all about self. It's all about making sure that we touch the heart and also touching the soul and the mind. So we go to different church locations, park districts. We go to different different like corners, like, because we believe in the Midwest, we believe in serving whoever's on the corner. It don't matter who you are, and we believe in giving back our time to the people that's in need. You know, it could be children, it could be, you can be the mayor of Chicago. We're going to serve you because we believe that it's all about giving that love back from God to your heart, to be able to serve the people and serve each other.
So I know we did some work or talked about doing some work beyond the food. We mentioned one of our first meetings was about, back to school book bag drive. Uh, fresh fruits and vegetables. There's a brother, I can't think of his name right now. He's a chef and he's very active with different grocers when it comes to fresh fruits and vegetables, things of that nature. So, but back to my original question, beyond food, you've also have involved yourself with different back to school drives, book bags, clothes, things of that nature. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yes, we give away book bags and school supplies. Actually, recently we just had a kidney awareness event for my wife that's in need of a kidney, and we gave away school supplies. We gave away hot meals off the grill. We barbecued the meals, and we gave away toiletry bags because we are also in partnership with Project I Am, Jaquil Jackson. He started his business when he was 8, and he do blessing bags all across the United States.
Explain what's in a blessing bag.
Well, in a blessing bag, you have hand sanitizer, you have masks, you have socks, you have towels, you have toothbrush, you have toothpaste, you have little small tissues, little small tissues, and you have like the lip balm and stuff like that as well. It's varieties of different things that's inside the blessing bag. He have different blessing bags for the women and also for the men, and it's a great young man that's on the move for God's people.
So we had a guest a few shows back who spoke about women's health. Shout out to Nurse Erica. She talked about some very personal things that has happened in her life. Um, her losing her daughter um, shortly after her daughter gave birth, and so the awareness for women's health um, is not where it should be, especially women of color, especially where we from, right? We don't pay enough attention to our health as individuals, and we have systems that don't pay enough attention to our health. And like we spoke earlier, um, your health is your wealth. So,
Mhm.
Kenosha, how do you feel not only about the organization that you've been a part of since its inception, but how do you feel about um, the atmosphere out here when it pertains to um, women's healthcare, especially women of color?
Well, with my experience, when I went to, can I say their name? Oak Park, Oak Park Hospital. Um, they was very, very sad with my experience with them, because the doctors there, that's how I really got sick dealing with that hospital, because they didn't tell me till the last minute when I was on my third stage of kidney failure that I had kidney failure. And they was testing me all this at the time with all this different stuff, but never told me anything about that. There was like more concern about my diabetes. That was about it. But with the diabetes is the one that made my kidneys get bad. And I've been a diabetic ever since I was born. So I've been dealing with that all my life. But I knew I was gonna get kidney failure because I had that problem all my life. So my experience, it been up and down. Now when I went to Indiana, that hospital was great. I love that hospital because they the one brought me back. I died twice while I was in that hospital, and they
Hmm.
brought me back.
When you were in Oak Park or Indiana?
Indiana.
Mhm.
And I came back to life twice. And they was nice. It was more of the other color that was there to take care of you. So um but when we our own color, is like they really don't care.
So you feel like when you were among people of color that they were much more dismissive?
Yeah.
that they didn't pay attention to
To your
your specific
needs.
needs
Yeah,
compared to when you were in Indiana, and that healthcare system did you
better.
more justice.
Yeah.
Isn't it something how we are quick to put right or wrong based on black and white, but it's not always about the black and white, is it?
Mm-mm.
So I believe that it's more systemic, right? I do believe that um, when people are dismissive, it's not because of their initial feeling and thought about it being personal. You know, I'm here, you're there. I'm dismissive of you because of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that um, systemically, because of the systems that we are part of, work in, deal with, that there's a breakdown long before the caregiver ever meets the person that needs the care. And when you look at different systems, as, as your testimony just told, you know, even though folk were not black folk,
Mm-hmm.
you got better care. Why do you think that is? Because I feel like it's beyond the color spectrum. I think it's
It's basically, I don't know, it's how they went to school, how they was trained. Um,
coming from a better system, a better background.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, that's what I really think. But some of them just come there just to get a check. That's about it.
Yeah. And again, you know, systemic breakdown, right? So, about my other part of the question, how do you feel about the work that you and Demetrius is doing for the community? Because half the stuff that he talked about doing, I got a little bit of insight. The majority of ideas are yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, being birthed out of you. So, talk a little bit about uh, how that gives you um, that satisfaction, that peace, and that drive to continue to do what you do.
Well, it was taught in me because when I was little, I used to go with my grandmother all the time. Cause she used to help the community out back in the day when she was alive. So I used to go with her when I was a little girl, and I got interested in it. So I said when I got older that I wanted to do it. So when I got older and I started doing it, first started doing it with my mama. Then when we got married, me and Demetrius got married, me and him put Midwest together and we started doing it together. So I just been interested in it all my life because I like helping people. Period. I was a CNA myself until I got sick, very sick, and that's all I wanted to do was just help people.
So you're helping people in a different way now.
Yeah.
So the members, how many members are part of this organization? I'll defer to you on that.
Right now, we have a total of 8 members.
8 members doing that work here in the Chicagoland area.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chicago.
Okay, and so total with all the people that you said you're associated with, what does that Midwest nation look like?
Totally with everybody in other states and partnerships and stuff. That's a total of 4,200 members.
4,200. So Chicago's got a lot of growing to do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Chicago has a lot of growing to do.
Okay. So what are some of the plans for Chicago to go from 8 to 18 to 80 to 800? Whatever your vision is for that, what's the blueprint look like? Just give us a quick snapshot of what that blueprint looks like for you.
Well, actually, we in the midst of like just basically like getting more people involved with awareness for like kidneys. Um, those who need a kidney, those who um dealing with cancer survival, those who dealing with lupus survivors. So our main goal is to be able to draw that network together to be able to love on them people as well and be able to have the volunteers to circleize all of that to be able to help each other grow help each other grow, and also help those that's in need of them type of services, like extra services. Try to plan different things to be able to draw the connection of 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 the extra services that's needed. Then you also have like mental illness. Mental illness is very serious in the community. So our goal is to get like trauma centers and stuff like that, put together healing circles. And we're gonna start off with healing circles first. Put together like healing circles and little talks to be able to talk together, like the men and the women, like have a women's session and then have a men's session to be able to, like, heal the mind and heal the soul.
Has anyone from what I would call institutionalized healthcare, has anyone approached you with any partnerships? Are you partnering with um, any medical facilities to kind of help you across the finish line with that? Medical professionals, people of that nature?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So that's in the process.
Yes.
So right now you have what I would call pillar number one, that the idea, that phase, but you are actively on the street, block to block, feeding people, speaking to people about healthcare, things of that nature.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is the Denasha Harrison Show. This is Intellectual Radio. Again, thank you for joining us. We're not done yet. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to continue this conversation. We're going to go to a short music break. And when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation here on the Denasha Harrison Show, Intellectual Radio.
God's on trouble water. You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This the matrix, I'm Neo. I know that I know I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Letting the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers will follow me to war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. In the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community and the swore. It's the only way to fight an enemy. Lord, save my father from this bottom to Hennessy. What more can I give? I'm giving all of me. And for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies.
Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's on trouble water.
I'm being chased by demons, the triple team exposed to false religions. I'm hated by jealous niggas that don't wanna see me living my life scarred from living home. Pulling my papers, I'm chasing paper, no holes barred. Peace of mind, and yet to find my heart's cold. Got the friends, my last road dog turned me in. The cost of war would never change. Who takes the blame for bad decisions? So many missing from following orders. This ill giving got the world tripping. They push prison.
Welcome back to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Feed your brain at 708-223-8953. We have Kenosha and we have Demetrius, aka Boss Man, aka, all these other names, man, that you came up with. But we're talking about if you just joined us on the show, we're talking about their activism in the community in Chicago and the Chicagoland area, all the different things that they're doing for the community block by block. Not only that, but we're talking a little bit about health, how your health is your wealth. They've been kind enough to share with us some personal events that have gone on with them. And so we just want to continue with the conversation. During the break, we talked about what more you would like to expound on. No secrets, no secret, right? So tell us a little bit about your influence, your mother, your father, how they impacted you to do what you do. I know before you talked about wanting to take care of others because that's what you saw as a child. So can you share a little bit more?
Yeah, growing up, that's what I really want to do. Just take care of others. and I like nursing people. It was just in me to be a caregiver. And I was there, I mean, literally all my life. I had quit college, came back home to take care of my grandparents when they got sick. I did not get my nurse. That's why I didn't get my nursing degree, because I stopped going to college. I just came back here to Chicago and got my CNA certificate instead. Um, my mama, she was also a CNA. She also was working for the city of Chicago. That's how I know a little bit about all the different things to do around the city, because she had a back to school program for the kids. And I used to go with her everywhere with that program. And I seen everything she used to do with all the work she had to do with the kids and stuff like that. But I really didn't want to work with the kids. I want to work with adults. So when
Why you didn't want to work with the kids?
mm-mm, mm-mm.
You said forget them kids. Huh?
They was terrible. That's why. But my dad, he worked for the FBI. I really didn't spend time with him because he went from Kansas to Chicago, back to Kansas, and he stayed in Kansas. But I just know he was an FBI agent, and he came around until I was about 7, 8 years old. After I was 8, I didn't see him no more until was it 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
About 4 years ago, I found him, and I found him. He was in Leavenworth, Kansas. So I found he was in a nursing home. Found the nursing home, called up there, and I finally talked to him. And he was shocked that I that I found him. So we had a conversation about why he left, and it was real crazy. Um, so about a couple months later, he passed away, and he passed away from thyroid cancer. So that's another thing I gotta look out for now too, because my thyroids have been going up and down too. So it's crazy because your health basically is deal with your what you call it, what your family history of health. It runs in you too. So you got to be careful about that too. You got to stay connected to and find out exactly what your mama had, what your daddy had, what your grandma had, what your granddaddy had,
So your
and
DNA.
yeah, it's in your DNA.
Mm.
You have to really get connected with that.
So did the absence of your father uh, influence you to the fact that he was absent for so long? It was back and forth, but you finally had a chance to catch up with him before he transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that, uh, in spite of the lack of consistency, that still inspired you to to um to 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 major in health, so to speak? Did that motivate you still um to do things for others, even though he wasn't
It wasn't him. It was my grandmother.
okay?
Um,
She was the
cause
motivation.
yeah, she is the big motivation. Cause she was there with me for literally everything. She used to walk to me to school until I was a sophomore in high school. Uh, so, it was so embarrassing. I was like, "Grandma, gone. My friends right here, just go."
What school?
Cornerstone Academy. It was in Oak Park at that time,
Okay.
but I think they downtown now.
So was your grandmother a Medea type,
It,
Big
no,
Mama type?
she was the big mama.
Okay.
So, uh, I'm the oldest grandchild of all the kids. So, yeah, everybody look and see what I be doing. So I be careful. about what I be doing.
So I'm curious, what when you tell your big mama to go head on, because you're embarrassing me. What was her response to that?
She was like, "Oh, Nikki, I'm gonna stay right here until I see y'all walk in that building."
Okay, yeah, she was born and raised in Chicago too.
No, Mobile, Alabama.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's where the majority of our grandparents came from.
Yeah.
Uh, my grandmother was from Alabama, uh, and my other grandmother was from Mississippi. So we all come by way of the South. The majority of us come by way of the South somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you sharing that. And what would you like to share about your mother and how she was such a huge influence? And she's still with us today, correct?
Yes, she's still with us.
So what was the huge driving force behind you doing what you do because of your mother?
Well, the biggest thing with my mom, Miss Bertha Page, is she is a very intelligent mom. She basically taught me how to live my life as a man and coming up. She's a very nice person. She's actually Aquarius. So she taught me how to be able to read and write. So my wife and my mom put together. Both of them are writers. Um, Actually, my mom, she she liked to read a lot of books, and I do too. So as me becoming a writer, I actually became a spoken word artist, inspirational spoken word artist because of my mom. My mom also encouraged me to be able to help the community, and she liked helping people as well. Um, Actually, for the past couple years, she's been coming outside, helping us serve the community as well, to be able to give things back to the community. And then sometimes my mom, she don't really like for nobody to tell her um, that she cannot do anything because she likes to make sure she keeps serving the people until she get tired.
So she out there on the grind
Right.
from beginning to end. So we joked during the break about how this is the most quiet I've ever heard you, because you talked about reading and writing. You do for those who don't know, he has the gift of gab, very much so. So, very eloquent speaker on many subjects for many reasons, and I'm gonna let y'all know this couple. I'm putting you in there too because you're responsible. All right, they don't like to take no for an answer, especially when it comes to a just cause, a good cause, and for that, I appreciate it very much. They're gonna keep going and going and going until they get a yes, a no, and that maybe is gonna turn into a either yes or no because they don't like to take no for an answer. But everything can't be yes. So I just wanted to share that with the audience because when they meet you uh, on your journey, when you're doing what you do, they're gonna want to make sure that it's the same person that they saw and heard on the radio. It's like, yeah, he's the same person. That's the guy over there talking. That's the guy over there, who just convinced Tyson Foods to bring another truckload of whatever they're gonna need to do whatever they need to do. Um, so when you get the donations that you get for I'll just call it a street ministry. Is that okay?
That's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
For the street ministry that you do, is there a cost involved from you all to the organizations that you partner with? Do you all have to pay for them to give as well as donate to your cause?
No.
That would be a no.
So none at all. So okay. So the reason that I ask you this is because everybody might not be able to partner up with you, but they might want to know, how did you get into what you're doing? Uh, do you just walk into the organization and say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing"? Well, I know he can do it. So I'm just talking about the average person. Does the average person say, "Hey, um, this is what I'm doing. This is how I want to do it. Can you help me?" What is the direction that you can give others who may not be able to partner up with your organizations, but they may want to start an organization where they are? What is some of the advice that you would give?
Yeah, you gotta get out here and hit them grounds. You gotta show that you faithful to what you're doing.
So consistency.
Yeah.
So, but how do you start that process? Like, I can show up and help you, and I'm
Mhm.
like, man, this look pretty easy. Um, how do I do the same thing that they're doing? So, what's the process? Because I
Um,
know it's not easy.
No, it's
no.
not.
So, but how do you form the relationships to convince them to donate?
Basically, you gotta start going out helping them out with they different events that they be having, and they see how you work, and if you work good with them, then they'll ask probably what do you all need, what y'all need help with, and then that's when you tell them what you need help with, and that's how we start getting all our donations and stuff like that.
And then like with us, like as a power couple, if we don't have no food from like um Tyson Foods or whatever, and say for instance like somebody just call us on an average basis, we just take money out of our own pocket and we just go to the grocery store and just shop.
So that's my point. Does it cost? That's what I asked earlier. Sometimes it may cost, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay. Okay. So that's pretty I would say the word I'm looking for is pretty intense. It's pretty intense to be consistent. It's pretty intense to hope that somebody's going to donate, but when they don't, you still got people that have needs. It's
Mhm.
pretty intense to go in your pocket and try to fill that gap, right? So I think that um, what I'm getting is that you have to get on the grind, stay consistent with the grind, and
Mhm.
be true to what you're trying to do for other people so that,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like on the job training.
Mhm.
Yep.
You don't just jump into this and say, hey, I'm going to do the same thing they're doing the way they're doing it to feed this many people, right? So uh, if you want to know how to partner with Midwest Professional Empire Associates, uh, how do they get in touch with you to assist you with what you're doing?
Well, you can actually go to the light page, Midwest Professional uh, Empire and Associates. It should pop up Midwest Professional Empire Family, and then we have the associates in the parentheses. Um, that's like our nickname, but we couldn't properly change the name on Facebook. So you guys go to our Facebook like page. You also can
Instagram
reach out to us to Instagram at Midwest
Pro
Pro Empire.
Empire.
And then you also can reach out to us to Chi Social Change on IG.
Okay, so that was three different places, and
Yes,
I'm gonna let you repeat those again for those who wasn't paying attention. So, Shy on Instagram,
Chi Social Change.
Shy Social Change, okay, and the other
Midwest Pro Empire.
Midwest Pro Empire,
That's on IG.
okay, and then the last one,
The Facebook like page is Midwest Professional Empire Family LLC. In the parentheses, when it pull up, it should say associates.
okay, that sounds good. So, question for you: when was the last event that you did for the people? Let them know the last event that you did, the location that you did your last event at, and when is the next event coming up for your organization?
Well, the last event we did was a kidney awareness give back. We did school supplies giveaway and free barbecue. That was on Chicago Avenue in Avis,
Kate, I missed it. Sorry about that.
and
I tried.
we had the hottest DJ out there, DJ Dot, on the ones and twos, and DJ D Man brought the sound equipment, and then we had a very good event to be able to help the kids, and also looking for donors for my queen, my wife, Unique, and that was on May 18th, 2024.
And what do you have coming up for your organization?
Right now, we have a 4th of July event that's going to be happening in DeKalb. We having a big DeKalb event, DeKalb, Illinois. We're doing a give
Barbecue.
a barbecue giveaway, And then we also, when we give away school supplies out there as well. Um, and then also we'll be giving away gifts to all the fathers, because unfortunately we're not going to be able to do anything for Father's Day this year. So we decided to make it as a family event for the county of DeKalb, Illinois, and we're going to do a big event for the fathers on that time with the families and the children, and give away gifts to the fathers.
Okay. It sounds like you all are doing a lot. You got a lot going on, and I would encourage you all to keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely. Are you on the donors list? Do you mind me asking? Did they put you on the list yet, or how is
I
that working
have
out
to.
for you?
I have to lose some more weight
Okay.
in order to get on the donors list. So I'm finna have a procedure done to lose my stomach. That's the only thing. It's my stomach. Everything else is good, just my stomach. I have to get rid of. So after I do that, I could get on a donor list because Indiana had reached out to me, Wisconsin reached out to me, um, and Illinois, of course. But Northwestern Hospital is the main hospital that I'm at right now. I was at UIC. I still deal with UIC because they was the first ones that I was on their donors list. But now they didn't change their rules and regulations. The doctors there said now all patients that wants to be on a donor list gotta be a certain weight now. So um that's the thing. I was on their donor list, but now they knocked everybody off.
Okay. So just different requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Um, shout out to UIC on a lot of things. Um, I know from a personal perspective, UIC has done a lot of great things for my family. I know they give it to you straight
Mm-hmm.
at UIC, and anybody that has anything going on, I recommend run a UIC first, and let that be your standard. So there was a lady who started, who actually came to the show early when I was doing this show. Her name's Tamara Arrington. Um, she's a holistic practitioner, and she's done very wonderful things with a lot of wonderful clients. If you go back a few shows, you'll see that show with Tamara Arrington, the holistic practitioner, wonderful masseuse. She works wonders with um, a lot of people who are determined to affect change in their lives in a positive way, so that you can go into the process in a more healthy way. And of course, uh, after this, I would love to share information with you. And I believe she's actually probably down in your area, but I'll get more specifics with you after the show. And
Okay.
then, so good luck with your journey. Well, God bless you on your journey. We'll put it that way. And because you're doing so many great things, I'm so looking forward to um, you being on the donors list and getting what you need to continue
Mm-hmm.
to move forward in the way that you desire to move forward. So, but you're not letting that stop you.
Mm-mm.
Obviously,
No.
you're continuing to do
What I
wonderful
need to do.
things. You're doing what you need to do because that's your passion. So, big up to you for not allowing anything to help to stop you um, regarding your passion. So, um, I think it's important for us to always identify and understand that your health is your wealth, and to put um, ourselves first when it comes to doing for us before we do for others. Not in a negative way at all. I don't want anybody to think that I'm speaking negatively, but um, the best thing that we can do for others is to be sure that we're as healthy as we can to do for others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, and we want to make sure that our vision is met um, as close to 100% as we can get it. And one of the best ways to do that is to do it in the most healthy way. So I wish you many blessings on that, and I really appreciate you coming on the show. Uh, I'm looking forward to doing more with your organization. Again, I just mentioned Tamara Arrington, and also I call her Nurse Erica. There are a lot of relationships out here that I think need to be made, need to be had for your organization so that you all can continue to further your street ministry when it comes to taking care of the people that's out there that can't really take care of themselves. So I would love to partner up with you all and just make those connections so that you can have that platform that you need to continue to move your ministry forward. Now, are you from Chicago?
Yes, I'm from the South Side of Chicago.
Okay.
I'm from the west side of Chicago.
Okay. There you go. So we're from the west side of Chicago. So you're from the west side. What part?
The Austin area.
Cicero and Lake all day, right?
Oh, well, I'm Wallen, Washington.
Okay. So Maywood, Maypole, Lamont, Fulton. Yeah. So we actually name our streets with names and not numbers. So watch this, y'all. Watch this. What part of the South Side you from?
I'm from Inglewood.
And what's the cross street? There we go. What's the cross street?
I'm from 67.
There you go. 67th and
Troop.
Troop. Okay.
Troop City.
So ain't there somehow somebody from the South Side when they want you to come somewhere, instead of them give you an address like 210 North Lamont, right? Instead of them give you an address, they be like, hey, meet me on 87th and Cottage Grove. It's like, how are we supposed to know where to meet you at when we get on 87th and Cottage Grove? As if there's a spot that says 87th and Cottage Grove. It's like restaurants, houses, gas stations. I'm supposed to just look for you when I get on the corner. Is that how it works? I'm curious because I'm a West Sider. How do y'all do that? Just out of curiosity. How do y'all do that? Okay.
We just basically give a destination
and then just do a 360 looking for folks.
No, we give you a destination, like what's in the area.
No,
like,
listen.
Like 67 and Troop is what? Ogden Park. So
but we're not from 67 and Troop. So we don't know to meet you at the park. So that's a conversation for another time, y'all. It's something how, folk I met from the South. Am I not? Am I telling the truth? Folk from the South Side be like, yeah, meet me on 129th, and it's like, okay, there's so many things around it. How about an address? I remember I had to go back and forth. Can you just give me an address to meet you on the South Side? But again, you probably don't do that, right? Like you're telling me to meet you at the park.
I say 67 and Troop. It'd be right there, Ogden Park.
See, everybody know what that is if you're from the South Side. But anyway, I'm gonna get off the South Side, right? We all one family, all one team. So, but I'm looking forward to working with y'all when it comes to what you're trying to do. And I'm glad that we're back in touch with each other.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been in touch with each other for a long time because that's just how life does. But the fact that we're back in touch, we'll be able to, do more when it comes to your organization. And we're looking forward to hearing about all the updates that you're going to share with us concerning your health journey. So thank you very much for coming to the show. So we are very excited to have you all come back. You're always welcome to come back to the show and talk about what you got going on, talk about what's next, talk about where you're trying to go. So anytime you want to speak about something concerning what you're doing, please feel free to reach out to me and make sure that you land on the show. And guess what? If my show is not a good time for you, right, you can always look at other people who are on this network, because like I said in the beginning, we're one big family. So if you got to do something at 2:00 in the daytime or whatever, as long as you coordinate it and you got to get out there and get the word out about what's going on, there's a lot of shows on this platform that really appreciate what you're doing and can really relate to what you're going through. So whether it's the Denasha Harrison Show or another show on Intellectual Radio, just make sure that you coordinate, and you're always welcome to come on and speak what you got going on, because it's one big community, one big family. And although we are Chicago proper and Chicagoland area, this show, to include all the other shows on Intellectual Radio, reach far beyond where we're sitting at. So somebody in California, all the places that you mentioned, right, about where you're known and what they're doing, 1,400 strong, they can tune in to IntellectualRadio.com. And they can listen to what you got going on, and they can actually add to what you got going on, because we are one big family. So keep that in mind. The next time you got something to say, you want to feed your brain, you want others to feed their brain, make sure you tell everybody about the show, tell everybody about the platform, and that you move forward to make sure that people can be informed about what's going on and how they can do what needs to be done to continue to move our people forward, our communities forward, our city forward, right? Our suburbs, our state forward, so that we can focus on the positive and not so much the negative. The mayor said the other day that he is almost overwhelmed with all the deaths that we got going on in Chicago, the senseless killings that we got going on in Chicago. What I took from that is the almost. That's what I took from it. Almost overwhelmed. So his head's still above water. And I would encourage you all to pray for your leaders in position, especially our brothers and sisters that are in position of power, because they are fighting a fight that we can't see them fighting. You know, we're sitting on the sidelines watching how people are attacking our leaders, watching how they're trying their best to navigate through the things that we don't even see them going through. So the fact that he said almost overwhelmed, that gave me hope to continue to enjoy and love my city and reach out and do what I feel needs to be done to put the word out about the positive things that are going on, whether it's Chicago or DeKalb. It's still in Illinois, right? So let's continue to move the ball forward. You got my support. Anything you need, anytime you need it, as you know, I'm here for you. So uh, just need to get them numbers right on that south side of Chicago, man. Just start giving addresses to people. That's all I ask you to do. So, but seriously, thank you for joining us. And for everybody who joins and support, continue to do so. The Nasha Harrison Show, IntellectualRadio.com. Go down and press those like buttons and put your comments in. And we'll see you next Wednesday on the Nasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Thanks for joining us and be good to each other.